Hi, my name is Rachel, and I'm an account manager over at MDPro. I'm here to help you with sales and customer service, and you can contact me for quotes, product trainings, demos, or anything customer related. The 4000 and 4500 patient monitor series offer two options for a facility: a basic multi-parameter monitor with the 4000 or a high acuity monitor for the 4500. Standard parameters are the same for both, with 3 to 5 lead ECG, non-invasive blood pressure, SpO2, temp, pulse rate, heart rate, respiratory rate, and 2 open IBP ports. Either one can be upgraded for CO2 capabilities as an external plug-and-play module or the internal G2 series. These will come loaded with arrhythmia and ST analysis and have a 120-second waveform review with customizable alarm settings. The ports on the side of the units will vary depending on the type of CO2 module selected. This standard monitor here has open CO2 ports, so that users can add on the external module at a later point if desired. Pictured here is the Respironics low flow side stream module, and it is a plug-and-play module. Plugs in right there. We also have the mainstream Capnosat 5 module. Either one will require using proprietary disposables from Respironics. This G2 series shows a closed port as it is an internal module and therefore cannot be added on at a later date. This will use traditional water traps and can work with any generic male lure lock cannula. Either one of these units can use any of these 3 CO2 options. On the back of the units, there are USB ports, Ethernet ports, and VGA outputs. These units can be powered by AC power or by lithium-ion batteries. Each one will come with a battery, and it's plugged in on the side of the unit here. There is also an option to add on a thermal printer on the side of the unit. A standard unit like this will have a closed port, and it can be installed on site if it is added on at a later point. If it is installed like this one, you'll see it will sit flush on the side of the unit once installed. Both units come with standard adult accessories with the option to add on things like pediatric sensors, disposables, extra large adult cuffs, mobility cables, and mounting options like a pivoting wall mount or mobile trolley. The 4000 is an affordable non-touchscreen unit with a 12-inch screen. This does not have an internal Wi-Fi option, and users can select functions using the knob at the bottom or the hard keys down here. This unit will store 96 hours of trends, but please be aware it does not have an NIBP trigger printout option. So to print the data, the facility must do a manual printout down here to print all of the current vitals on the screen, or they can print from the trend graph and table at the end of the procedure. If they're going to do that, please be aware it is only going to print out one trend or one parameter at a time. So they'll have to select the parameter desired and then the interval desired before printing out. They can also connect to our software via Ethernet to print out the data from their computer. These 2 units do have volatile memories, meaning as soon as the unit is turned off, the data will be wiped and cannot be retrieved at a later point. The 4500 provides a wider range of options and capabilities. The standard 12-inch monitor is a non-touchscreen unit and does not have Wi-Fi. However, either one can be added on, or both, making it a fully loaded unit. We will mainly be stocking the 4500 and 4500 Touch Wi-Fi. This unit does store 120 hours of trends, and with a Wi-Fi module, they can seamlessly send the data to our CMS software. These units can be upgraded to have an internal cardiac output module, or can be paired with the Masimo phase-in multigas module. Masimo provides 3 types of analyzers: the SideStream ISA-AX Plus module, the ISA-OR Plus module with oxygen detection, or the mainstream IRMA module. These will plug right into the side of the unit, right in the open CO2 port, and therefore it needs to be a standard unit, not one of the G2 series with a closed port. And they will come with all of the corresponding accessories to mount it to the side of the unit. Any disposables are proprietary disposables from Masimo. The MDPro 5500 and 6000 are our new ultra-portable patient monitors with a sleek design and integrated features like touchscreen and Wi-Fi. Similar to the rest of our bedside monitors, these will allow users to monitor ECG, non-invasive blood pressure, SpO2, temp, pulse rate, heart rate, and respiratory rate, with options to add on CO2, cardiac output, and invasive blood pressure. There are built-in carry handles with a cable receiving design, providing easy storage with or without a cart. Ports on the side of the unit allow for VGA output and an Ethernet connection. This can be powered by AC power and comes with a USA hospital-grade power cord and a lithium-ion battery. It will come with one battery with an option to upgrade to a larger battery for longer use. Here, where the accessories connect, you'll see that the ports are different than the 4000 and the 4500. Some of the accessories are cross-compatible, but not all. The NIBP tube, the ECG cables, the temp cables, and the SpO2 direct connection cable are different for the 5500 and the 6000 series. The cuffs and the DB9 SpO2 mobility sensors are compatible between the entire line. We'll go over the full accessory list later on. In terms of differences for the 5500 and 6000, the 6000 here has a 12-inch screen, and the 5500 has a 10-inch screen. Both have a standard parameter options for 3 to 5 lead ECG, non-invasive blood pressure, SpO2, 2 temp, pulse rate, heart rate, and respiratory rate. And then they can both add on 6 to 12 lead ECG, 2 IBP slots, and CO2. However, only the 6000 has the ability to monitor cardiac output, and this is an internal module, so it must be installed in by the factory and ordered at the original point of purchase. Turning on the unit, you'll notice the user interface is the same between both units. We have the ECG waveforms, the PLEF waveforms, and the respiratory waves over here, and then the numerical data on this side. There's an option to turn on pitch tone if desired, and you can pull the readings from ECG or SpO2. Clicking into each section like that will bring up the menu and allow you to change the settings or change any of the alarms and thresholds. In the NIBP menu, for example, you can turn on the intervals for automatic measurements. And if you have the NIBP trigger printing turned on, you can have it print out all of the data anytime the NIBP measurement is taken. Regardless of the printer or not, all of the data will be stored internally. This has an 8 gig memory, and it will keep the data on even if the unit is turned off. Per patient, you will be able to see 240 hours of trends, 200 sets of alarms, 1,200 sets of NIBP measurements, and a 48-hour waveform storage review. There are 3 levels of auditory alarms that will sound along with the visual alarms on the top of the unit. While some alarms can be turned off or paused, there are essential alarms that cannot be turned off, such as cardiac arrest and apnea. In the menu, you can change the alarm level for certain parameters and adjust the threshold as needed according to your area and your requirements. There are also presets for adults and pediatrics. If you change the thresholds, you can always save your own personal requirements as a personal profile as well. Display mode is also customizable, and you can focus on trends or make certain parameters larger so that you can see them from across the room. If there are certain modules that you aren't using, you can turn them off to make room for those modules as well. The control bar here is another way to customize the unit. It will allow you to directly access some of the most frequent operations to go along with the hard keys here down at the bottom. You can turn the brightness up or down, or keep it on night mode or privacy mode for extra comfortability. For ECG, these monitors have 3 or 5 lead ECG options standard, and they will come with a 3-lead snap cable out of the box. We also have the option to upgrade to a 10 or 12 lead module, and the Eden algorithm is optimized for arrhythmia detection, pacemaker detection, ST analysis, and heart rate measurement. If the unit is wall mounted, or if you would like to use this for transport, you can add on a trunk cable and a mobility lead wire for extra portability. Respiratory rate is also pulled from ECG standard and can be monitored through lead 1 or 2. For SpO2, we typically include in a standard adult sensor with a direct 7-pin connection. However, similar to ECG, we also have options to include in an extension cable for extra length or for compatibility with different sensors. We have reusable pediatric and neonate options or disposable options for all ages. As we discussed earlier, you can switch pitch tone to pull from SpO2, and then the desaturation tone can alert clinicians to any drastic changes in oxygen levels. In the SpO2 menu, you can also turn on NIBP simul, and this will alert the unit that you are measuring SpO2 and NIBP on the same arm so that no alarms sound due to the inflation of the cuff. For NIBP, we have a few measuring modes: auto, manual, or continuous. Comes with an adult cuff standard and an NIBP tube for quick connection. You can take a manual measurement by pressing the hard key at the bottom or on the shortcut on the display. For automatic measurements, you can select a variety of intervals in the menu and turn on NIBP trigger printing so that each time the measurement is taken, it will print out the strips with the vitals. While the units come with standard adult cuffs, we have the options for neonate all the way through large adult and thigh. Disposables are also available with Suntech NIBP options. For temp, we have 2 temp ports open on the side, and in the accessories box, we have an adult skin temp probe included. We also have adult and pediatric probes for intracavity options. For CO2, and in terms of the capnography or end tidal CO2, we have one primary side stream option. This will be the internal G2 module that uses proprietary water traps that terminates in a female lure lock. This means that you can plug in any generic male cannula or any divided cannulas with O2 delivery. We have a variety of options from adult to pediatric, and you can also use an airway adapter for intubated patients. This water trap will prevent any moisture from entering the unit and damaging the module. These will last for around 200 hours of use. Once the procedure is over, we have a few options for data transfer. First and foremost, these units output HL7, which means they're compatible with most EMR companies. It is best to have a facility reach out to their EMR rep to double check what is needed for integration and if there are any monthly fees for this service. For real-time data transfer and communication, we have the central monitoring station. This will allow for bidirectional communication, alarms, patient data, and reports to be accessed and controlled on one central computer. Facilities can manage and simultaneously view up to 32 bedside monitors per screen, up to 128 monitors with 4 screens. Units can connect to this via Wi-Fi or Ethernet, and we highly suggest having the units and the software on a dedicated network to avoid any interference with other devices. For smaller facilities, though, with only one or a handful of units, we offer the CMS Lite, which gives a single bed view and focuses on the reporting features rather than the bidirectional communication. Reports can be saved as a PDF and provides a backup database for patient data.